Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest Pac-12 matchup of the entire college football season takes place in college football week number 7. And the game is officially here as the Oregon Ducks travel to take on the Washington Huskies in the biggest Pac-12 matchup we will see of college football 2023. It's officially week number 7, and boys, this is going to be a good one. So let's get into previewing and predicting this game. As we all know, the Pac-12 does not play any defense, so both of these teams have extremely high-powered offenses led by amazing quarterbacks. And even with this game being played in Husky Stadium located in Washington, the Oregon Ducks are actually favored over the Washington Huskies at about a 55% chance to win this game. ESPN and the sportsbooks see this game going much differently, as many of the top betting sites have the Washington Huskies -3 against the Oregon Ducks. And this game is going to be an absolute classic, and it makes sense why there's not much of a difference between these teams, as Oregon's offense is averaging 557 yards a game compared to Washington's 569 a game. And as I stated, both of these teams have extremely hot quarterbacks, as Bo Nix is the quarterback for the Oregon Ducks, and he has completed 131 out of 163 attempts this season for 1,459 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. And Oregon has an emerging star in their star wide receiver, Troy Franklin, who is playing absolutely amazing this season, as he has 32 receptions for 535 yards and 7 touchdowns this season. And Franklin is honestly emerging as one of the top wide receivers in college football and has a legit shot at winning the Biletnikoff this year. And Oregon also has an extremely talented offensive line, and this is allowing them to have an extremely good running game led by Bucky Irving, who has 50 carries this season for 393 yards and 4 touchdowns. And to put that into perspective, he is averaging 7.9 yards a carry for the Oregon Ducks this season. And honestly, I don't know if Washington's going to be able to stop this rushing attack. However, the Washington Huskies also have an extremely potent offense this season too, as their star quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., has completed 133 out of 178 for 1,999 yards, just 1 yard short of 2,000, for 16 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this season. As we all know, him with many other quarterbacks in the Pac-12, such as Caleb Williams, are the Heisman favorites going into week number 7 of the college football season. And Washington also has a pretty good running back themselves. Their leader, Dylan Johnson, has 41 carries for 240 yards with a 5.9 yards per carry average with 4 touchdowns this season, and he has looked really good. And you know how I was talking about Troy Franklin? Well, Washington might even have a better receiver in Rome Dunze. Dunze is widely regarded as the best receiver in college football this season, and honestly, he probably will win the Biletnikoff this year, as he has 32 catches for 608 yards and 4 touchdowns, and is averaging 19 yards per reception. And he honestly could be the difference maker in this game, as I don't see Oregon having a cornerback that can really shut him down in this game. However, let's look at the defenses of these teams too, as obviously we all know the Pac-12 does not play defense. However, Oregon is still looking pretty good, as they're allowing just 255 yards a game, while Washington is allowing 365. And Michael Penix Jr. might have trouble against Oregon's ferocious front 7, as they're allowing quarterbacks to just throw 153 yards per game, while Washington is allowing 243 yards a game through the air. And to go along with this, Oregon has a ferocious front 7 that's also shutting down the rushing attack, as they're allowing just 102 yards per game compared to Washington's 121. So in the rushing attack, the defenses are pretty similar. Heading into this matchup, both of these teams are ranked extremely high in the Pac-12, as both of them are undefeated, as Oregon is 5-0 and Washington is also 5-0. And this is going to be a huge matchup, as this is definitely Oregon's toughest game of their season, as this is their only top 10 matchup currently. And this is also probably the Washington Huskies' hardest game of the year, as this is also their only game in the top 10. However, they do have to take on extremely tough end of the year schedule, as they have to take on USC, Utah, Oregon State, and Washington State back to back to back to back. And honestly, I think this game is going to come down to who wants it more. And honestly, I think the Washington Huskies just have that dog in them this year. They've looked amazing all year long, and honestly, I just don't see Oregon's defense being able to shut down that ferocious Washington offense led by Michael Penix Jr. I think he will probably have a field day against them, as he will find Rome all over the field. And honestly, I think that he will also pick up some extremely crucial first downs using his legs. And honestly, this is going to be the difference makers in this game, as Washington will pick up a huge 31-27 victory over Oregon, and this will propel them into being one of the top teams in the entire country and the best team in the Pac-12 this season.